Good evening, co-op fans, and welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer Summer Co-op 2023 Tournament. My name is Lord Fizzlebeef. Joining me in the booth is Phoenix. How's it going, Phoenix?
Going great, man. How's it going with you?
It's going great. It's co-op time. It's everybody's favorite multiplayer tournament that we do. We got a schedule to keep. We got stuff to do, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So, before I get started with the quick reminders, I want to highlight that, unfortunately, we did have a last-second team drop. So those of you who have been attempting to science out the bracket, the math has gone wonky. More on that shortly. We also had an unfortunate technical issue during the second qualifier. That will come up in a bit. But in the meantime, general reminders for everybody. Number one, when we get the scheduling form live, which will be exactly after this stream concludes, please try to schedule your races more than 24 hours ahead of time if possible. This is especially true if you are hoping to get a restream broadcast. We're really not good at the last minute oops surprise races, so any amount of leeway time you can give us is greatly appreciated. Second thing, just for the first two rounds, so the round of 16 and the round of 8, just to keep giving Race Crew a bit of a break, no restreams for Game 1. There will be restreams for Game 2 and Game 3, just not for Game 1. On the other hand, if you can get your own Race Crew, go nuts. This is pretty good. In terms of how we will be handling the race rooms for this tournament, unlike many of our other tournaments which go through race time, we're going to be handling all of these through FFRBot. It's just easier on ourselves that way. FFRBot tends to handle teams easier and with less fiddly bits than race time does. Streaming is required for all races. Even if you're not being restreamed, we still need you to stream your races. We still need a VOD backup just in case we need to verify the times, just in case it's really close and we need a retime. So please do remember, even if you're not being officially restreamed, still going to need a stream. We also have a rule that just want to make sure that everyone's following it. When you are streaming your run, set your chat to emote only. We don't want to have any issues with runners accidentally having stuff spoiled to them in their chat by their audience. It's just easier for everybody involved if you just set things to emote only. One other reminder, once your team finishes, remember not to cut the stream immediately. If you just Alt F4 out of OBS as soon as you finish, because you're on a 10-minute delay, that's going to cut off the last 10 minutes of your race, and that could be a very big problem if we're trying to verify things. It could result in that race ending up being a DQ, depending on how things go. Please just don't do it. Just let the thing run for 10 minutes. You'll be fine, I'll promise. In terms of this tournament, all rounds are going to be best of 3. That includes the first one, that includes the last one. So, first to 2 wins makes it forward. And finally, because of how many teams we have this year, the first round has several buys, so technically the first round only has 3 matches that need to be completed in the first week. And during the Wheelathon, we will be having one of the second round matches revealed due to just how the buys worked out. Phoenix, can you think of anything I missed?
No, I don't think so, offhand. Let's get right to the spinning.
Let's get to the spinning. Up first, we got the Game Changers versus the Cold, the Hard, and the Hate. Now, for the seeding for this tournament, we decided that we did not want to give preferential treatment to the people who happen to be able to run on a Friday versus a Saturday. So these are the first place finishers of both days. We've got the Game Changers, first place on Friday, that is Falconic and Will Cleosis. They have been doing co-op, I believe, since the beginning. I am 99% sure they were there in that first tournament. They took a bit of a break. They are back. I mean, they've got a good logo. It's solid.
It's not bad.
And first place from the Saturday run, we have the Cold, Hard, and Hate. Admiral Tryhard and Hate the 13th. Hate being one of our restreamer extraordinaires, and Admiral Tryhard someone that I always bump into when playing Archipelago. So they definitely have the communication skills down and not to be underestimated.
Well, and certainly one thing we can count on from that group is carbonating the bubbles. We know Hate will do it in every match.
Every single time. Let's hit the button. Our number 1 seed is going to go to the Game Changers. So, to be clear, Game Changers will get a week 1 bye. They don't have any matches they have to do this week. However, their second week is going to be facing off against the winner of... why did I abbreviate this? No Practice, No Problem, No Prep. Not in that order. Versus the Chimering. So once we have a winner from that match, the winner there will be going up against the Game Changers. As for the Cold, the Hard, and the Hate, they will be going up against the winner of the Grogers and Seed 10. More on that later. So, up next, we've got the wheel for Seed 3. On the left-hand side, we have the second place team from Friday night, the Nuke Kids on the Block. The wonderful power couple of Luffy DV and Shumbabi. I have seen them in action since their early days as a co-op team. They put in a lot of effort. They do a lot of practice, and they've got a lot of knowledge. They are a very scary team to deal with.
Yeah, I always see them in the voice chat. They are always practicing. I'm not even sure they sleep.
And over on the right-hand side, we have what ended up becoming the second place finisher of the Saturday run. We have Loading Please Wait, the team of Forsaken Sadness and Serenus, and the first of teams that didn't submit a flag, so I had to make one for them.
Appropriate flag. And of course, it's a wheel, so of course it's great.
All right. Without further ado, let's find out who we're getting. The winner of the third seed is the Nuke Kids on the Block. So to review, the Nuke Kids on the Block will be going up against the winners of Twilight over Melmond versus Seed 11. More on that later. Whereas Seed 4 will be going up against the Punishing Platypi, but that is a Week 2 race. That is a Week 2 matchup, so don't worry about needing to do it like right now. You guys have 2 weeks to get that done.
I suppose that means I should probably practice.
Eh. Now, Seeds 5 and 6. Ordinarily, this would be a roll-off. However, due to some technical difficulties with the Saturday run, the committee decided that Twilight over Melmond would default to essentially losing the roll-off for the 5th seed. So, in Seed 5, we have the Punishing Platypi, which features Phoenix29, my very own Cocoms, and Budge Mono. It also features the second of the flags that I had to dig up. Enjoy.
Alum mode. I like it.
So, Punishing Platypi will be going up against Team Loading Please Wait. Whereas Twilight over Melmond is going to be going up against Seed 11, which we'll be getting to soon. Twilight over Melmond being Dark Moon and Sonny Wrath. They did pretty alright in the Saturday qualifier, but again, technical difficulties happened and committee decided that It wasn't worth the full forfeit, but they still got penalized by putting them to the bottom of the qualifier. Up next, we have the 7th seed, the Grogers. This is the team of Burt Reynolds and Herbie B. Every year so far, Burt Reynolds has offered his services to a duckling of his choice, and this year's duckling of choice appears to be Herbie B. So the skill is definitely there. We'll see if the communication comes with it, and they'll be going up against Seed 10, which will be coming up momentarily. Have you had a chance to see this team in action by chance?
I haven't seen the team in action, but we all know Bert. He's a long-time member, and I actually got to play against Herbie in spring tournament, and I got a lot of respect for Herbie. He went into Topher with a white mage melee, and he almost pulled it off. I got a ton of respect for him.
Uh-huh. Sometimes you got to go with what you got.
Team. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Burt Reynolds in chat. We haven't practiced and are just winging it. My man. And now, the first confirmed, as of the time I was making this presentation, matchup. Seed 8 versus Seed 9. We have no prep, no practice, no problem. Jesus the Froganodron versus Seed 9, the Chimering, Space Drake, and Kumo. The Chimering were the last team to sign up for the tournament. Space Drake has been around for a while. Kumo has also been around for a while. I know I have seen them do well in Duck Derbies, and so I'm interested to see if we can translate that over to the co-op tournament.
I think they're going to be a good solid team, and they're going to give no prep, no practice, no problem a good run.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it occurs to me that I still had the wheel up, so we did not see the glorious Grogers flag. I apologize. Here it is in all its glory. 10 out of 10 is art. Over on the other side, we have... I always mangle this. No prep, no practice, no problem. I keep wanting to just sub them around. Now, this team has my favorite flag. Out of all the flags that we've got that were submitted ahead of time, I mean, it's beautiful.
It's art.
It's 10 out of 10 art. It is beautiful. So already I'm rooting for them to just win the whole thing based on that.
Yeah, that'd be deserved.
Yeah. That is how we judge things. Art, nothing else.
Yeah, that's fair. You know, we got a couple of good strong runners there. Odron is a duckling who did really well in the Duckling Derby, and Jesus is a recent graduate of the Duckling program who I faced off in brackets in spring tournament, and he gave me everything I could handle and more. That's going to be a good team. This is going to be a great first round matchup.
And then last up for the seed roll-offs, we have Wombology versus Chaotic Neutral. Unfortunately, I had to come up with flags for both of them. Let's figure out where we're going. Oh. Congratulations to Wombology. You have earned the 10th seed and a date with the Grogers.
You know, and that's appropriate because last year's duckling that Bert took under his wing was Woo Bear, who is a member of Wombology. So I guess we can go with little Darth Vader here. When I left you, I was but an apprentice, but now I am the master.
It's true. And meanwhile, Chaotic Neutral, not in for a fun time themselves, as they are going to have to go up versus Twilight over Melmond, the team of Dark Moon and Sani. Chaotic
that's
Neutral.
That's going to be a good match.
I have raced Iker across many a spring tournament, and I definitely believe that Iker has the skills to take them on. Windfox is new to me, but if Iker has been working with Windfox and has been sharing strategies, and if they have solid communication, that's the thing about co-op, is if you have solid communication, you can take down anyone. And so
absolutely.
If Iker and Windfox have been putting the practice in, I think that Twilight over Melmond is going to be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, that's certainly not going to be an easy out for Twilight by any stretch of the imagination.
Mm-hmm. Also, I had to find flags for both of these teams. You're welcome.
They're appropriate. Q is always appropriate.
Mm-hmm. And so there we have it. This was basically the screenshot of the bracket I took with the names that I could fill in, minus the names I can't, to review. In the first round, we're going to have No Prep, No Practice, No Problem versus the Chimering. Down further below that, we're going to have the Grogers versus Wombology. We're going to have Twilight over Melmond versus Chaotic Neutral. If you're just joining us and missed the first couple roll-offs, up at the top of the bracket, we're going to have Punishing Platybi versus Loading Please Wait. We're going to have the Game Changers versus whoever comes out of NP versus Crime Ring. We're going to have Cold, Hard, and Hate versus whoever comes out on top of Grogers versus Wombology. And then we're going to have Nuke Kids on the Block against the winner of Twilight over Melmond versus Chaotic Neutral. And then everything just kind of sorts itself out from there. This bracket will be updated as soon as I shut the stream down. Seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it looks like it. There's a lot of good, strong teams in this tournament this year. There are no easy outs, and I am looking forward to watching some of these matches.
Alright, and that's gonna do it for our co-op bracket reveal stream. Nice, easy, painless. Unless you're having to race a team that you didn't want to race, then there's pain involved. I take no responsibility for this. Phoenix, any final reminders before we head out for the night?
No, let's make sure, especially in the second and third rounds, we give the race crew lots of notice. They're stretched thin all the time anyways, so let's give as much notice as we can.
Alright, and that's going to do it for us here at Final Fantasy Randomizer. For everybody here participating in the tournament, working on the tournament, working behind the scenes, my name is Lord Fizzlebeef, and we will see you all next time. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.